You learned how to use the out keyword when calling methods in the previous lesson. That's lesson 4.8. In this lesson, you'll learn how to add out arguments to your own methods, enabling them to return more than one value. To begin, open the Textland project from your sample files folder. And open encryptionfunctions.cs from the Encryption Library project. Now you're going to add a new method that will generate a random encryption key and initialization vector. Add the following code outside any other methods. Public static void generate key and IV AES algorithm equals AES dot create AES algorithm dot generate key AES algorithm dot generate IV. The generate key and generate IV methods generate a random encryption key and initialization vector. In order to return both the encryption key and initialization vector from this method, you're going to use the out keyword. Add the following arguments to the generate key and IV method. Out byte key out byte IV. An error marker appears because methods must assign values to all arguments that are marked with out. Finish the method now by adding the following code to set the values of the key and IV arguments. Key equals AES algorithm dot key IV equals AES algorithm dot IV. The error marker disappears and the method is now complete. Next, you're going to make use of your new method. Open the code behind file of encryption.aspx and add the following code to the start of the button encrypt click event handler. Byte key byte IV encryption library dot encryption functions dot generate key and IV out key out IV. This code calls your generate key and IV method and places the returned values in the key and IV objects. Next, change the line that begins string encrypted string to string encrypted string equals encryption library dot encryption functions dot encrypt string textbox encryption dot text key IV. This provides the key and IV objects as arguments to the encrypt string method, instead of relying on the default values. Your random encryption key and initialization vector won't match those used by the button decrypt click event handler, so the page won't be able to decrypt the text anymore. Test your code now by viewing encryption.aspx in your web browser. When the page loads, click Encrypt, and the text is encrypted using your new random encryption key. Now click Decrypt And an error occurs because the decrypt method is expecting a different encryption key and initialization vector. To fix this, you would need to store the randomized encryption key and initialization vector and use them for decryption. Close your web browser now and close Visual Studio. You've now completed Lesson 4.9. Output multiple values from a single method.